Stu with Raid Shadow Legends, top picks for rare void champions. It is almost 1 p.m., 1300 for us. So have a drink if you're off of work. Let's get into it. All right. Now these are just my top picks, not in any particular order. I'm not going to start out with a popular rare voids. Let's start out with somebody that's not super popular. Ifrit. I really like this guy. He has so many things going for him. If these were the bigger buffs or debuffs, he would be the #1 champion. Right here, he places a 15% weaken instead of the 25% weaken. If it was the maximum weaken, and if this was a 50% decrease attack, and if this was a 60% decreased defense, this would be the ultimate all-around champion for the game. I mean, his HP, look at his max HP is so high. It's almost 19,000. His defense is good. His speed is good. Everything about him is phenomenal. Always checking the index for like their max HP and defense. I like to see what they have. Even if they're an attack class, if they have super low HP, it means you're going to have to just gear them differently. So I always like to look in here and see what they are at max level. Like I said, this guy has everything. If you have him, especially if you're a new player, I mean, level him up. Take him into dungeons. He's void. He can go anywhere. He will place all these debuffs. Look at this. Decreased defense, decreased attack, weaken. I mean, all in one guy. And then look at this. He's got a leader skill that actually gives everybody HP. I mean, you just can't beat this guy. All right, let's go on to the next one. Who do I have on my list? Anybody here? I'll give honorable mentions at the end, so I don't want to go too much into a whole bunch of heroes. So I'm going to go into veteran right now. I have a hero spotlight on him, a champion spotlight called champions here. So he hits 2 times on a skill 1, and he can apply with max skills a 50% decreased attack for 2 turns, which I use on the clan boss. It's great. It is not as great as Tyrell, who actually can do it on each of the 2 hits. Veteran, for some reason, only has 1 chance to apply that debuff and not 2 chances. So I don't know why that is. We should talk to Polarium. We should let them fix this or do something about it, because it would make him so much better if he could have a higher chance to apply that or off the 2 hits instead of just one time. The rest of his skill, his kits are pretty good. He has a block buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. His damage is based off of defense HP here, defense attack here, and defense on his main. And then he has a speed lead for dungeons. Defense champions are great in this game. They can take a beating and they can put out just as much damage or sometimes more damage than attack class champions. It's pretty insane. So let's go on to another defense champion that isn't as well known, that I really like. He needs to learn how to pull his pants up, maybe put on a shirt at times, but here we are. Seducer. Oh yeah, look at that outfit. That cape's pretty sweet. He looks like some crazy vampire dude with a pimp cane with an apple on top. So anyways, he's a defense-based champion. He can put people to sleep with his skill 1. Not that big of a deal, but he does do an AoE where he'll lower the attack. He'll do a decreased attack for 25%. It's really good. AoE, 3-turn again. You don't really need books for it. And then we have he's going to increase his defense, all your team's defense by 30%, which is in turn going to make your defense champions hit harder, and you're going to be harder to take damage, right? So, and then he also does blocks debuffs. This guy has a lot going for him, and you don't need Temptress to even do it. And then this guy also has increased ally HP in all battles by 25%. A crazy lead for a rare. 25% on this one, all allies. Excuse me. So, okay, so that's Seducer. Let's go on to another one that's not really used a lot, but still a great champion. Now, keep in mind these are all void. You can bring them anywhere you want. He attacks twice, places decreased accuracy. That debuff is really not that amazing. And then fills the turn meter of all allies by 30% and places a 60% increased defense on all your champions on a 3-turn cooldown. So that means that it's going to be up a lot. If you're going really fast too, it's going to be up all the time. You're going to be out-turning the enemies. You're going to be taking 2 turns to their 1. Maybe you have Apothecary with them for even more speed boost. It doesn't matter. he will definitely do that. And then his skill 3 is actually really good. It attacks all enemy, places a shield buff equal to 30% of the max HP on this champion for 2 turns. Damage increase according to his current HP. So keep his HP high, keep him topped off. And look at that HP. He has 20,000. He has good everything, good speed. Always look at these to see what their stats are. Great, another great champion for Void. What else do I have? So we went over Seducer, Doomscreech, Veteran. Let's go over to a really popular one that everybody knows about, Bellower. A lot of people get Bellower and they think he's just going to tear stuff up. He's not. You got to really have good gear with him. If you take him in with subpar average gear, you're going to be like, this guy sucks, because he does AoE on all his attacks. And he does AoE on all his attacks, and he has really good debuffs. I mean, look at this. He's even got good HP for an attack class. His attack is over at right at 1,000. He has 16,500 HP, and his defense is good, and his speed is great. It's at 99. Everything about him is fantastic, but you do need good gear for him to shine, especially if he's going to be your farmer. You need good gear so you can get down to those 7-second, 8-second, 9-second farms. And then if you're going to bring him into Spider, also good gear. You can go with, whatever gear you have, that's fine. I'm just saying, don't be discouraged if you don't see him blasting the whole screen for crazy amount of numbers. It's like anybody else. You need gear. You got to have good gear on him. The people you see online who are doing crazy numbers, they're the people with, max crit, critical damage. They're getting max crit from substats and from gear. And then they're also using crit damage gloves, crit damage accessories. They're getting that crit damage really high, and they're getting that crit high to be able to do this, and it's not always something that a normal player will have access to right away. So just keep that in mind. He is a great champion. All right, we're going to go on to, who do we have next? Cold Heart, Retainer, Painkeeper. 2 of those are really popular. The third one's not popular, but I have seen them out there quite a bit. So I think they're all Dark Elves. They are all Dark Elves. Okay, Cold Heart. Everybody knows Cold Heart. She is a great rare. Everybody wants her. She just does so much. She does the 4 times hit on her main. I'm sure you know everything about her, so I'm just going to click it. Click it. This one just decimates enemies. Somebody like Spider, who has the highest HP out of all the regular bosses, not the clan boss, but out of all the regular bosses out there for dungeons, Spider has the highest max HP. So this skill right here, who does damage based on enemies' max HP, really hurts Spider a lot, and all the other bosses as well. Of course, on the clan boss doesn't take as much damage from these type of skills. You can look in the clan boss passive, so it's not as much. But she is just a great champion. Do keep in mind though, she does have lower HP and she has lower defense, so you do need to gear her a little bit more survivability in the beginning, unless you just have in game, you have a really good team, you have really good gear, and you're just blowing stuff up. You don't have to worry about it. So there is Cold Heart. And now we have Painkeeper. I've got a champion spotlight on her. I've got 21 million on the Nightmare clan boss, the highest clan boss. With her, I just, she's really become one of my favorite champions. Her and Zargala are an orc warrior, are basically two of my favorite champions. So she does an attack and she fills her turn meter by 15%. Now she doesn't fill it by 30%. It's not getting a 15% increased turn meter from each hit, unfortunately. But it is still crazy. So she's increasing her turn meter every time she attacks with her basic, making her faster, making her take more turns so that she can heal her allies by 25% of her max HP, which is ridiculous, on a 4-turn cooldown. But then this one, once you get it lowered down to a 4-turn cooldown, it's going to lower everybody's skills, including herself. So really that could be a 3-turn cooldown, because you do this first, then you do this, and you lower all your champions' skills. Skill 2s, skill 3s. It's crazy. She is so good. Her max HP is high. Her defense is decent. Her speed is 102. There's just nothing bad about Painkeeper. She is truly an epic disguised as a rare. She's just so good. Might be like, there's probably like 3 best healers in the game. She's there with the 3 top healers. She really is. So then we have, let's see. Oh, my last one on my list before I do honorable mentions is Retainer. Now this guy is another defense-based. I'm always talking about defense-based champions because they are so damn strong. You throw defense on them, they don't take much damage, and all of a sudden they turn around and they just smack you for so much. This guy has a 40% chance to place a 30% decreased defense. Always great. That would go up to a 60% chance to place it with skill ups, and then he'll heal himself by 40% of his max HP and place counterattack buff on himself for 2 turns. So he's counterattacking and he's smacking you with this decreased defense, and then he'll attack one enemy, decrease the target's turn meter by 50%. If the target's turn meter is depleted, you put it to sleep. Now I'm not worried about the sleep so much, because if you're depleting something like Dragon or any of the other bosses, then you're not going to be able to sleep them anyways. But to deplete a turn meter, to heal for so much for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown once you get it maxed out, and to be defense based, it's just crazy. I've seen this guy in arena with top end gear continually heal himself and then turn around and smack you for like 30k. It's wild. He's really good. I mean, look at these base stats. Again, crazy high defense, good HP, and he doesn't need attack because he's doing damage off of defense. So attack on this kind of defense, when you see defense right here, doesn't even matter. So that is it. My honorable mentions are Fellhound, Tagasm, part of our clan, and in Discord he's very active, very great guy. He has a Fellhound that's doing like a 6-second brutal run, but he says that's all it's good for. Like, if you try to bring in a spider and whatever else, it casts all its other spells, and it's really not that great for other things, and it takes insane gear to be able to do what he's doing with it right now. So Fellhound is an honorable mention. We have Skirmisher if you want to do a 3-turn, once it's maxed out, AoE remove debuff on an attack class with decent HP. Cavalier is a defense based champion who can do light heals and light buffs. And then we have Harrier. Harrier is a defense champion who can do a lot of damage, especially with Hospitaler. It's one of those ones where if you have, the 2 champions on the team together, they have a special passive. He'll ignore 50% defense on all his attacks whenever he crits if Hospitaler is with him. Now, if Hospitaler was good, he would be on my list, but she's not good, so nobody's running those 2 champions together. But anyways, those are my top picks. I've got Ifrit, Bellower, Veteran, Doomscreech, Seducer, Coldheart, Retainer, and Painkeeper. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if I missed any of the rare Void champions that are phenomenal that you've been playing. And that's really all I have for this video. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.